Hello to my Scorpios. All right, let's get it. All right, balance, healthy work-life balance is what we talking about in these spiritual and in these earthly streets. Balance, healthy work-life balance. What's it all about? You put the name in there. All right, here we go. I'm deserving of all the good in my life. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get right into it. I am, which is source inside of you, is saying that you are deserving of all the good in your life, that the creator is inside of everything. Spirit is inside of everything. So is everyone else, deserving of all the good in their lives as well. So we're talking about auric layer, making sure you're not carrying around other people's energy on your internal scales, becoming an enemy to self, carrying your manager's energy, carrying your friend's energy, especially if it's doing a disservice to you, an injustice to you, carrying around other people's energy when there's ways to do a deep cleansing. Here we go. 7:16. Soul companions. You're going to be closing out 2 cycles. Important connections are building. Your angels want you to make new mutually supportive bonds. So the people you meet are special to your journey. Welcome them into your heart space. Think of someone in your life you've connected with recently. Send this person a message or reach out to talk face to face. See how you can build on your connection. You're going to be closing out a cycle with 2 energies. 716. That's 7 and 7, closing out a cycle with some energies that's been holding on to something. So you're going to be initiating something. You're going to be initiating something. You're going to be closing out a cycle. Then you're going to be initiating a conversation. This connects us with the throat chakra, ear, nose, throat, right? So you are initiating conversation. You're initiating some kind of action that you're taking. So you may be speaking on somebody's behalf, making some connections for some people. You're doing something to build connections for people. You're making some connections for some people. Somehow you are making some connections for some energies. All right, let's see what we got going on here in these spiritual and in these earthly streets. What's going on? I am deserving of all the good in my life, but again, so are everybody else. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. So there's been a double awakening here. After someone has moved on quietly with their lives, somebody has learned. You have taken a page out of people's books. When people move on quietly with their lives, you're learning how to do the same thing. Move quietly through your storms. When you feel like people have been shady about you behind your back, you're learning how to just move quietly through your storms. That does not show a sign of weakness. You're just moving quietly through your storms. Traveling light, transitioning light. Right? 2 karmics have lowered your wealth. 2 karmics. This is what you have in common with someone. 2 karmics have, because of their almost like an addiction to money and material things, have lowered your value. May have lowered your reputation, may have lowered your worth or lowered your value amongst people. And it cut deep because something was done behind your back, just like something was done behind someone else's back. Yep, something was done behind your back, just like it was done behind someone else's back. And these are energies that you pray for. It's like other people have prayed for something. Right? So Source is saying, when you're a prayer warrior and you know that the main thing is that God has your back, God has your back. So when people lie behind your back, you learn how to move on quietly and let whatever happen need to happen. You just move on quietly. Move quietly through a storm. We just move on. Because two energies that were all about money. That's all they cared about, money and material possessions. Lowered your reputation significantly just to increase theirs. Here's the Empress card. For bringing some kind of separation between parent and child or parent and children. By baiting somebody into some. This is what you have in common. The reason I know that because we're talking about heart chakra, right? So speaking of auric layers, let's talk about auric layers for just a second. Let's put everything on pause for a second because we're talking about Five of Wands here. Created a situation where someone was baited into something and switched up on. Your aura is like an energetic calling card. You hear me say this in everybody's reading because we're coming up on a full pink moon, right? A full pink moon. And so pink moons are really about removing the rose-colored glasses of who's saying has your back, who's supposed to be behind you, who's supposed to, The only energy that you can really trust to 100% have your back is Source, the Creator, the Lion of Judah, has 100% has your back. That's not 99.9%. That's 100% has your back. We're in human form. I think people keep forgetting that we are not each other's gods. We're not. Looks like money separated you in two energies. That was where somebody said that's where they draw the line, depending on who's getting paid. If you can pay somebody more than somebody else can pay somebody, not to say, you know what I'm saying. When I say pay, it's not always in paper and coins. It's like going out to the highest bidder, basically. It's like it could have been a karmic couple could have said, hey, look, they said, if you, like a karmic couple could have said, and a karmic couple could have been husband and wife, it could have been a same-sex couple, it could have been whoever, family members, whomever. Could have been two friends or people you thought were friends. Whatever it was, somebody said they had your back, but when it came to money, they were like, they did something behind your back without your knowledge, but somehow tossed your name into something having to do with the Capricorn. Toss your name into something, name dropping. Tied you into something demonic. Tied you into something. Behind someone's back. And that's what you have in common with them. Somebody who was thriving. Somebody who is thriving. They did not expect. Remember you're ruled by Pluto, which is a judgment card, but it ties you to death, rebirth, metamorphosis, very, very powerful transformation. So everybody is going through a metamorphosis. Remember, Pluto is in Aquarius for the next 18 years. It was 20 years, but now we're in the year 2025. Yeah, so it's for the next 18 years. And there's a real call up for people to raise their frequency to love, like agape love, right? But it's still showing some energies who have a hardened heart towards people who move quietly through their storms, people who are moving on, and how people will tie you into some stuff that you don't even know about, that you have no idea, you don't even know about. And these are energies that say they love you and you love them, but they don't love you enough to tell you what they're doing. This is a karmic couple to raise their stock or raise their value. These couple tied your name into something that they did to two people. Because they were looking out for self. This would be like somebody in a workplace who basically saying that their manager said that they could, our manager gave us permission to go ahead and sign off on such and such. We ordered all of these supplies, for the department, and the manager gave you right to sign off on, such and such to order all of these supplies. The manager didn't even know anything about it. Went way over the budget. That would be kind of like an example of something, right? And so Capricorn ties us to North Node, kind of ties us to 10th house, right? So 10th house is about career, life goals, achievements, public image, the social status and fame. So somebody wanted to tie themselves to your social status, your public image. That's what this is. But what they did, here you are a prayer warrior. They put you in a fight and like demonize you, demonize your name. 10th house, possibly yours, and if you have kids, your kids or your parents' name, just demonize you and somebody. When, like I said, learn how to take a page out of people's books who learn how to move quietly through storms of life. They just move on quietly. When they know people are being shady towards them, they just move right on. This right here, remember, this is genderless. This could be somebody's parent-in-law. It could be somebody's mom or dad-in-law that roped your own child into something. Got your child into something, told them, hey, you got my back, right? You got my back. Baited them into something and somehow tied your name to something. Remember, the polarity to this right here is Cancer, right? Cancer rules 4th house. This is about family, home life, sense of security, ancestry, self-care, traditions, inner emotions, maternal figures, and also pets, right? So this could tie 4th and 10th house together. This could be like on somebody's mother's side or father's side of the family. This could be like an in-law or something like that, tying your kids into something that they was making it seem like it was something fun. Let's bait so-and-so into something, right? This right here, this Leo right here ties us into 5th house. 5th house is about romance, creativity, children, projects, fun, self-expression, hobbies, what makes you feel good. Something somebody thought would be fun or funny. Tying some people into some mess, but somehow you got pulled into something because your sign rules 8th house: renewal, sexuality, death, transformation, shared finances, inheritance, loans, occult, mystery, intimacy. Somehow two energies pulled you and somebody else into something, lowered your value just to increase theirs. When we talk about I am, that's source, the great I am, means that everybody is deserving of all the good in their lives. Everything that the Creator created is deserving of all the good in their lives, no matter how they move through life. Some people just quietly move through storms in their lives so they can move on. They don't deserve to have their character assassinated behind their backs when they're trying to just close out cycles and move on. So source is saying, here's accused of running away from something. So somebody was saying that somebody was running away from something. They weren't running away from anything. Somebody wasn't running away from anything. Right, so now everybody is clear. This is the King of Swords here. And somebody is crystal clear that people are just moving through storms of life, and that's what you and someone have in common. That you're just learning how to just gently move through storms of life, and how people, karmic people, karmic relationships. Remember, when we're talking about 7th house, this is where Libra. We have a full moon in Libra. Will remove the rose-colored glasses off of everybody's face. Who you're connected with. We're talking about heart chakra. Will expose how they process grief and who has a hardened heart. Some people process grief by just calmly just moving on with their lives so they can go somewhere and just heal. They just calmly move on and they just heal. And people create all kinds of lies behind people's backs, baiting people into a lie, creating all kinds of just chaos and confusion. Preying on them, preying on their kids. I mean, just the rate, and somehow tied you into something. So this is you. Well, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. It doesn't really matter because this is all. This is down here is genderless. Yeah. So it's just saying you're just remaining cool, calm, and collected in the face of something, and finally getting some rest. Finally getting some rest, but you'll be closing out cycles with 2 energies for good. Closing out cycle with 2 energies. 5 and 6 is 11. 11 is a master number. Your spirit, you're taking some kind of action, and your spirit is getting off the fence finally, and taking the sword and cutting ties. You're finally cutting ties. Finally. With 2 energies, you're going your separate ways. There's a person right here. It's like you're splitting ways. You're like, okay, no, I need to close out a cycle with 2 energies. I need to just go ahead and close out a cycle. So you got some good news coming in. Yeah, you got some good news coming in. A message of some good news coming in about someone that you love deep, or someone loves you deep. A message is coming in. Of balance. This is about balance, and this is going to balance you out. So when you have to part ways with some energies finally, that's a grieving process, but you're learning how to move on quietly through a storm. Because cutting people off with a sword, like finally saying, okay, enough is enough. People keep tying your name to some mess, that's lowering your value, and you're out here trying to make some important connections with energies. You're trying to build connections, and people keep tying your name to stuff. So it's just saying to you, it's time to cut them off so you can move on. You're learning how to just move on quietly through life without all of that mess. And some good news is coming across your path. That is, because after you already said, listen, you know what? I wouldn't go back to something, even if I saw a pig with wings fly through the sky. This could be a friend, a longtime friend that you love deep. You said nope. Could be 2 energies. You said nope. You're just tired. It's just done. And so then you got some good news coming through that's going to help balance some things out, going to help take your mind off some things. And that's usually how it happens. As for my fixed signs are so fixated on, especially you guys, you all are like the best friend zodiac sign. Be fixated on staying connected to loved ones to the end of time. So it's just saying, you're learning how to move on. You're not carrying other people's baggage and burden, because that reflects, it makes you look like a bully. That's right here, like somebody is a bully. They projected that energy onto you, like you're a bully. That you just cut throat, like a sword, pull out a sword just to lower somebody. Yeah, here we have. So you're moving on from something. You're taking a leap of faith. Taking a leap of faith. But something, you've been hearing something through the air about these loved ones forever. Like something, it's like somebody's been hearing something for a long time about these loved ones. And just like something hit different this time. Something hit different this time about these energies. Something hit different this time. Something having to do with the house. Something happened in the house, or somebody, something just felt too much like home for somebody. Like somebody felt too comfortable doing something. Somebody got too comfortable. Like too much celebrating about something, or they just got too comfortable with bullying and separating people and doing all kinds of baiting people into stuff, and somebody got somebody back and look out for me and all this craziness. Whatever this is, I don't know what this is, but blindsiding people. But somebody is now listening to ancestors. Somebody's now listening to ancestors. You and somebody are now paying attention to the messages from your ancestors coming through. So when we talk about the heart chakra Heart chakra speaks to 1 foot off the body. It's related to the heart chakra. It represents our feelings of peace, love, connection to others. It'll reveal if we have grief or hardened heart. Somebody was overthinking something. Have a whole lot of anxiety, but overthinking something. Just way overthinking something. Well, these two energies have made it a point to just completely lower your value and your worth. This could have been somebody you shared a womb with. Could have been your spouse and their family, for real, for somebody. Using your kids or grandkids. I mean, anything. Because all this is loved ones, family, loved ones. And somebody kept hearing something come through the air. And if this was somebody that you have kids with, and they would do this, something like this to your own blood relatives, and somebody keep hearing stuff over and over and over again, so something brought out the prayer warrior in you instead of the devil in you operating in the flesh of just separating energies. Something forced you to say, I'm going straight to the creator. I need clarity. I need to talk to source about something. I need to talk to source about something. I need to talk to source about something. Auric layer. Looking at the Auric layer 5, which is the etheric template throat chakra, right? 1.5 to 2 feet from the body related to the throat chakra. Refers to spiritual blueprint that outlines everything that will manifest into the world through the etheric plane. And then we have the 6th chakra, which is the brow chakra. 2 to 2.5 feet off the body is related to third eye chakra. It's related to higher perception and intuition, unconditional love for all beings everywhere. Then we have the 7th, which is the casual body layer, typically extends out as far as 3 feet, is related to the crown chakra. This layer vibrates more quickly than all the others. It imparts deep knowing and a sense of unity with everything. It's a unity with everything. So here's the 7 of cups here. So you're trying to keep your vibrations high as you're closing out a cycle. Something has come to a close. Like I said, you got some good news. So you got 7 of cups here, 7 of wands here. Let me see, we have 7 anywhere else. 7 of swords here. Yeah, 7 of swords. Yeah. And then the Chariot card. So somebody's at a crossroad. Somebody could be at a crossroad. And Source really wants somebody to learn how to take the high road when you're at a crossroad. Because something, somehow something doesn't, even though we got a 7 of cups here, because this isn't 2 sevens, it's like 7, like something is closed out, like, and then we have 1, so 1 would be like the magician, so that's like the initiator, creative, logical, but you have 6 after that, which is a lover's card, so this is right here would be like, not this card, excuse me, a decision has to be made, right? So a decision has to be made about partnerships in business or partnerships in love or some kind of a partnership in something, like where people partners in something, you know, so some kind of balance needs to be made, but don't let pride get in your way. Don't let pride get in your way. So somebody is starting to go where they are appreciated and not where they're tolerated. Looking at your cards here, this is when you have a moon, and not to say that your moon is in Leo, but Somebody is starting to go where they're appreciated and not where they're tolerated. Again, source is saying you're learning how to move. You're moving through life, traveling light. Whenever you feel like you're in a job, friendship, whatever, where you need to close out a cycle, Scorpio, where you feel like you're not appreciated. You're learning how to just, close out cycles. Keep your vibrations high. Like I said, the devil is in the details. You got a devil here, you got the devil here. That speaks to your 10th house. This is taking some kind of a masculine action. We're not talking about a man. We're talking about divine masculine. Meaning it's okay, I need to take some kind of action. Instead of me overthinking this, I need to put one foot in front of the other, or one oar in a boat and row in the water. I need to row through these emotions. Get as far away from something so I can gain some clarity from the shore. Get settled so I can gain some clarity. Shine bright. It's never a mistake to give of yourself. Some will take it for granted. Others may take advantage of it, but don't allow bad energies to overpower your light, receiving it all. You deserve to receive abundance at full capacity. Believe in your worth and trust that the universe is ready to deliver all that you desire. Open up. Participate. Do not confuse intention with entitlement. The entitlement to demand from the world leaves you with nothing. The world is rich and so are you. Yeah. So this could be, like I said before, it could be somebody's in-laws that's just like, child. Yeah, it could be somebody's in-laws. In-laws just using your kids as something, like your kids falling for the bait. You have adult kids that's been falling for the bait since they were kids. Hey, you want to do something for grandma and granddaddy? Or you want to do something for aunt, uncle? You know, they don't even know what they're getting into. Who knows, right? But it causes somebody else to lose their value, two people to lose their value or lower their worth, just to increase somebody else's worth, thinking it's all fun and games, just to put somebody on center stage, being ruthless with it. Being ruthless with it. When everybody's supposed to be family. Right? Work family, and also home family. People being ruthless. Alchemy, transform the situation. That's why some people can't figure out for the life of them why people ask who all is going to be over there when somebody's throwing family functions. Who all is going to be over there? Or even work celebrations. People are asking, they act like they only want to be at the work celebration. They having a potluck at lunch. They halfway sit there, halfway open up their mouth. As soon as lunch is over, they out the room. They like, Anything they say can be used against them. Love affair. Beware, love affairs at work rarely end well. Yeah. So somebody could have been in a situation at work, just a mess. Something was a complete and total mess. So helping hand, no one can handle it all. So it's going to give you some kind of a helping hand. It's time to say goodbye to something and use opportunities that arise. Yeah, so something happened. Something happened. But somebody separated some energies. But we're talking about healthy work-life balance here, having a healthy work-life balance. But that is what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful. There's a Libra possibly involved. We're talking about 7th house. We're talking about 10th house, 4th house also involved in something. So source is exposing whether enemies are hidden or if they're right out in the open enemies. Source is exposing it all. So the rose-colored glass is covering off for everybody. That is what I have for you. And so don't be an enemy to yourselves. That's what I have for you. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.